Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to some more Victoria 3 and a brand new series, Sokoto Finish. All right, before we get started here, though, let me make sure everything's working. Hello, me. Hey, right back at you, buddy. All right, what do we got going on here? Hey, Mu Lambda Theta, what's up, my friend? How you doing? How you doing? Very good F5 pull. Ah, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I try very hard. I try very hard. Actually, I kind of do. Getting my new system and setup and everything. So yeah, I appreciate it. How you doing? Good to see you. All right. Let me get my... I hate this opening music when I need to listen on my headphones here. There we go. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. We are starting a new series since we finished the Australia run. And so we are going to be playing one as Sokoto. So let's load into the map here and get it started. All right. All right. All right. All right. So we're going to start here as Sokoto. Under the banner of the Fulani Jihad, the Sokoto Caliphate is expanding rapidly. Can Sokoto unite West Africa and resist the Western powers? Hell yeah, we can. All right, so let's get it started. There we go. All right, so we got an interesting opening situation here. First off, we're landlocked, but we're going to be doing some war at the very top of the run here. We're going to be taking over a lot of these places next to us here. We're going to be going pretty high infamy to start. But I think one of the biggest difficulties here, which we'll start off with first, is research. So you can see on the production end, we only start with 3 techs, so we actually got quite a bit to research in level 1. Military-wise, we start off with 3 here. At least we have navigation. So we got a little bit to do here. Hey, DeWolfie, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Hello, hello. How you having it in the cold? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How you doing in the cold? Yes, yes, I'm using it. I'm using it. How you doing? How's your little furry friend doing? Hope you had a good weekend. Over on the society side, we also start with 3. So not a lot here. So the very first thing we need to start off with is steelworking. We're starting with this because we can't go to the second production method in logging camps, sawmills, until we get it. And if we're going to be running any construction sectors, we need this. In fact, we're not going to start our construction sectors until we get this. We're not going to be able to get enough logging for it. Hey, Bert Bananas! Morning, morning! How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. How you doing? I hope all is well. So steelworking. Next, we're going to go over to the society screen, and we really got to go with centralization here. Because we can't go to filing cabinets, the second production method in the government admin, until we do. We start off with quite a bit of unrealized taxes here. We're starting off with 3.9% tax waste, and if you notice here, we've got a 35% interest rate, so this is going to be one of those runs where we can't even dip our toes into debt. So I know, like, we always want to go with Atmo engine and all this stuff to start. It's going to be some time before we get to it anyway, so we need to give ourselves a little bit of a buffer. So we need to raise our taxation capacity there. Oh, hey, King Hulk. What's up? What's up? Good morning, fam. Finally, a Sokoto run. Yes. Can't wait to see what you accomplish with them. I know. I'm excited. I've never done a complete Sokoto run. I've had a couple false starts over the years. But this is the first time I'm really going to be able to sit down and do a full 100-year run. So yeah, I'm excited too. How you doing? Good to see you. We're doing very well. Kind of happy to be back working. Ah, yes. I bet you had a nice long little vacation there. I know how you feel. Mine is coming to an end at the end of the month. I'll be teaching again at the end of the month. I can't believe the summer's already gone. Steelworking is the second best tech for construction. Yeah, only losing against Atmo engine. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, the Atmo engine is wonderful. Though the Atmo engine is kind of a necessity for iron frame buildings. Because it doesn't help you with logging and fabric. But yeah, I mean, iron frame buildings is really what you got to get to really start constructing. And this is kind of necessity for that. Steelworking is kind of a necessity for wooden frame buildings, though most countries start with steelworking, so you don't even have to think about it. But not us, not us. So we're gonna go centralization, and then next, you know, we're gonna go colonization, because we have to get a head start. Great Britain and France are gonna come, especially France, and start colonizing all of this. We need to get a head start, and we will be able to get a head start, because I'll have to look at which one of these are homelands, but in all of these homelands, we don't have the malaria malice that France and all of them will have, so we want to get the head start. So after we get colonization, then we're going to start going for the big three right here. Atmo engine, mechanical tools, railways. So by this point, we should have gotten a little bit more in terms of tech spread. So we'll just add the rest of it in. And then we want Atmo engine, mechanical tools, railways. By that point, we should have gotten tech spread on a lot of this stuff, but we want to get to line infantry. So we're just going to add this stuff to the queue. And whatever gets picked up on tech spread will get knocked off of the queue. Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot. I did mess something up. We're gonna have to delete all this stuff. There is one more thing. So we want steelworking, we want centralization. The third one needs to be academia, because we need to rush tech, and it's gonna be a very un-Hamcuts-like run because I'm gonna be building some universities early. So we're gonna have to take the time to get academia, then we'll go colonization, and then we'll finish off the rest of this stuff, and then go for line infantry and artillery. So that's what our initial tech queue is gonna look like. Also, landlocked nations start with navigation. Yeah, that's true, right? We got navigation, but we're landlocked. I wonder how that worked out. Probably going to have to build a lot of universities, yeah, to catch up with the great powers as much as possible. Also, expanding with frontier colonization will be good for you. Yeah. I think, though, well, we'll probably end up going... I find just between frontier colonization and colonial resettlement, you want colonial resettlement, because it's pretty much the same thing, except this one lets you colonize overseas. So if you can choose, I feel like you choose colonial resettlement between these two. A lot of countries start with frontier colonization, and so I feel like if you started with frontier colonization, it's just as good. Just stick with that for a while. But we're going to have to pass a law, and if we're going to pass it, we might as well do this. We won't go colonial exploitation, because we're not really trying to exploit a lot of the lands next to us. We're trying to, like, incorporate them and make them a part of our nation, so yeah, we'll probably go for that. I'm doing great. Sorry I missed so many Australia streams. I've been busy at work fixing all these ACs. Ah, no worries. No need to apologize. I know how it goes, right? Sometimes life catches up to you. My wife used to be, a long time ago, worked as a like a nursing home nurse. I don't remember what the official title is, but she had this one patient who would always say, "Life is so lifey." And so her and I say that all the time. Sometimes life is so lifey. So I know how it goes. By the way, I'd like to have you guess, what buffs do uprisings get in the game, if any? Oh, like when you're colonizing the native uprisings. If you get a native uprising and then you win the war, basically your colonial generation speed. I think it doubles. You get a boost to that, and I believe it's double. Although you can't get native uprisings in the current version of the game. When I was doing my tutorial video on colonization, I was trying to create a native uprising, and I found there's a bug in the game. They just don't happen. And so I reported it to the forums, and surprisingly, they responded very quickly to that one and then confirmed, oh yeah, this is a bug right now. So, but yeah, I think it's double. I think it doubles the speed. Getting military assistance will be good for the military tech spread too. Yeah, if you can't get that from anybody. Yeah, if we can get that, we will go for that. Hey, Machiavelli, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Ham Cutsey's the Unifier 2, Return of the Warlord. Yeah. Oh boy, yeah, that's what we're going to be at the beginning here. Because nobody's really going to come after us for a while. So we need to grab these lands next to us before anybody else does. I'm not going to go over 100 infamy, but we'll get close to it. Oh, uprisings as in revolutions and secessions. Oh, what buffs do uprisings get? Well, I know the uprisings, they get like a stockpile of like guns and stuff like that. So they do get that. Basically the only instance of a stockpile in the game. Very lifey. Do you plan to take Oyo and or Benin for world market access? We're taking Benin first. We're gonna go Oyo. And any of these other guys who join in, we're taking them too, because we start off with a pretty big military here. All right, let's take a look at our government. Hey, just 24, what's up, what's up? How you doing? Are you Spider-Man after retirement? Yeah, this is the Father's Day shirt my son gave me. I haven't been able to rock it yet, but it says Amazing Dad. And of course it's got Spider-Man because my son is obsessed with Spider-Man. How you doing? Good to see you. All right. Our leader is Caliph Mohammed Bello Dan Fodio. Sunni Ulema, moderate. We get some extra influence. Improve relation speed. That'll be pretty good. So we only have the landowners and the Sunni Ulema, and we have the armed forces. So we're going to throw the armed forces in there. There's not much we can go for first, but we are going to go for professional army. Peasant levies gives plus 25% military strength to aristocrats. One of the nice things about peasant levies is minus 10% military goods cost, but we don't even have line infantry yet, so everybody's irregular infantry, so we have no military goods. So we might as well go to professional army and start gaining some experience levels, points for our army. So we're going to go professional army to start. Did you win as Australia? How high was the soul? Man, what did our standard of living? I forget what it finished at. It was in the high 20s. Like 28, 29, something like that. I think we had just missed 30. I kind of wanted to finish at 30. I remember that we didn't. So I think it was like 28, 29, somewhere around there. If you got mines, you have an obligation to give it to the children who yearn for the mines. Yeah, we got to get those children out of the mines. We're going for universities early, so maybe I should get the kids out of the mines, be very unhamcuts like. Also, you probably answered this question already, but why did you pick Sokoto? Oh, no, I didn't answer that question yet. Well, I picked Sokoto because it's time we got back to Africa. I like to, like, just kind of move around the map from continent to continent when I pick streams. And so it's been a while since we've gone back to Africa. And I've wanted to do a Sokoto run for a very long time, so I thought, why not now? That's the most there was to it. The stockpile. Oh, yeah, they get plus 200% training rate. Lots of extra conscription. dependent on movement support. They lose all radicals but keep your loyalists, and revolutions have high legitimacy. I didn't know they keep your loyalists. Actually, I did not know that. That's interesting to know. Essentially, the buffs they get synergize very well with lots of conscripts. Yeah. Uprisings with national militia or mass conscription are extra dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, all of that stuff that they changed in Iberian Twilight, I believe. All right, we got the government set up. Oh yeah, our army at some point we're gonna downgrade from the number of battalions we have, but for now we're gonna keep them, and we're basically just gonna split this in half. So this will be our first main army. Everybody is an irregular infantry, so we're just gonna start as that. Let's give them a general. Landowner, authoritarian, royalist. Defensive strategist. I mean, we're going to have to deal with some authoritarians and slavers at the start here. Brave. This guy, traditionalist commander. Honorable. Okay. Well, let's put the main army with the armed forces royalist. Sekudadi. And then we're going to split off 10 more. Into a new army. The second army here, this will eventually be our cavalry. Let's give them a general. Who's the next one we got? A landowner moderate. Yeah. I mean, these guys are authoritarian, so I'd like to go as long as I can without using them. So... Kanajeji Agalawa. We'll give you that one. And then you also split off 10 into that new army. And then this will be our National Guard unit. And eventually we'll probably just disband this one. And here we got a slaver. So our choices are slaver or authoritarian, so we might as well take the defensive strategist here. Army is set up. Hey, Mauricio, what's up? Hey, Ham and chat. Looking forward to the series. Good luck. Hey, good to see you on the morning stream. Very, very early for you, my friend. Good to see you. How you doing? Z Kirk, hello, hello. How are you? I don't know if you remember, but today is the first game of my soccer season, and I'm so bummed because, oh, I strained my upper quad. No, no. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. How long do you think you're going to be out for? How many games do you have to miss? That's rough. I apologize. All right, lastly, we can't even do road maintenance because we don't have centralization yet. So we're just going to slap down some social mobility everywhere to raise this atrocious literacy rate. All right, what else? What else do we have to do? Let's take a look at our society real quick. Primary cultures are Hausa and Fulbe. We actually have quite a few cultures. Most are accepted, though we have a couple who aren't. Religions were mainly all Sunni. We're going to have a pretty good budget to start, so we might as well lower taxes for now. Get people's level of wealth up and running. Oh, okay. And then we're going to look at... I haven't put anything in the construction queue. So let's take a look at our states. House of Land. We don't really get any boosts here. Oh, we do get plus 15 infrastructure. 246,000 peasants. It just has logging camps. I mean, this would be good for construction for just wooden frame buildings. But eventually we want to move to iron frame buildings, so this isn't going to be the construction state. Sokoto Outer House of Land. Yeah, we get some debuffs there, but we do get the Niger River. Only 31,000 peasants. We have coal here. East House of Land, nothing. We're gonna have malaria everywhere. A lot of peasants, logging and coal, and this Nigeria is gonna be our construction state. 86,000 peasants, but they also have iron. So we're going to set up our initial construction here, because they also have logging and cotton, so. Ring of Doom, hello, hello. Rare to see someone play one of my favorite countries in Viking 3. Nice! Awesome, awesome! Oh, I'm glad you caught the stream. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you. Slaver, traditionalist, authoritarian. Yep, you want the after 19th century. Yep, basically. I have to wake up early for this, so don't worry if I make a few comments and fall asleep. Yeah, no worries, my friend. No worries. Glad to have you regardless. All right, so we'll start off with the 2 logging camps, the cotton plantation. Then we'll go with the tooling workshop, because it's going to take us 35 months to get steel working, so we don't need to go to the tool workshop immediately. But essentially, once we have this, we're going to add the 2 construction sectors and then the logging camp. We'll start off with just this. We might end up moving the construction sectors lower if we don't have steelworking by the time we get to these, because we absolutely need steelworking before we turn these on. So that's what our initial construction queue is going to look like. Nice and simple. Oh, and then we have a bunch of influence. Let's get good with these 2 for now. There's nothing else we're not going to improve relations with everyone around us yet. They're going to be pissed at us because we're doing wars. I don't think we can call that literacy at all. I know, right? Like, starting pretty far down. Nothing makes you realize your country is screwed as much as the moment when you want to put down road maintenance and it doesn't work. I know, right? Can you imagine not being able to do road maintenance day 1? Oof, 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 oof. Hopefully just this one, since I've been aggressively trying to recover. Nice. But I risk re-injury just striking the ball. Ooh, since I've been out of shape and inactive over the last few years. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, as long as you're taking care of yourself, recovery will recover. So, good thoughts your way, my friend. Personally, I always open with centralization because the bureaucracy kills you slowly. This is true. It is true. See, so the reason why I'm starting with steelworking and then centralization is that though the unrealized taxes are bad right now, we have a pretty good budget. So I'm hoping we can fill up the reserves during the time period it takes us to get steelworking and centralization. Once we finish centralization, we'll start the construction sectors. We'll have a negative budget, but then we'll start working on centralization. And I'm hoping by the time we're done with centralization, we're at probably the bottom of our reserves, and then we can just flip over to filing cabinets here. Hopefully. Nigeria, save the infrastructure for later. It doesn't have much free infrastructure. Well, the problem is, though, you never want to stay on wooden frame buildings forever. You need to go to iron frame buildings, and this is the only state we have with iron. Infrastructure is something, you know, we can fix later. So the idea is I want to use the infrastructure for construction now, and then we'll start building our, like, economy in this state, all while we start working towards railways. And you won't be able to afford iron construction for a while. Yeah, this is true, but I want to have it all set up there to start. Hey, Lauren, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Good day to you. How you feeling? How you feeling? Are you on the mend? I hope so. Hope the weekend treated you well. Maybe you get the achievement that you start below 20 literacy and reach 95. Yeah, I already have that one, unfortunately, so we can't go for that one here. But we can see if it pops up. Back in my days, we built with stone, not wood. Yeah, I know, right? Actually, King Holtz, a good thing you mentioned. We're not going for any achievements in this run. This is going to be like a Be Awesome run. And so, if we get one along the way, that's fine. All right, so let's create our starting save point. And then we're gonna do the first unpause here. Peaceful run? No, it is not. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that before we unpause. We're just gonna start off at war. I almost unpaused without doing that. All right, so this will give us 27 infamy. Some people will be pissed, but we're gonna do it. All right. Away we go. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna start with we don't have any mobilization options that we're gonna do. I mean, we could add stuff, but we don't need to pay for that right now. So let's send these guys. We'll also do the cavalry. So we'll take these guys. Yeah, we're over our influence. We're getting negative 10% prestige, but I don't really care about the prestige right now. Oh, interesting. Look at this. All right. Well, then let's send these guys as well. So we'll start with Benin, get ourselves access to the sea. Oh, Henryander, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome. The reason why I say centralization first, because Benin shares your culture as coal, iron, and wood, and a lot of pop and infrastructure. So I try to snag it ASAP. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna take it, and we are gonna get even lower bureaucracy here. Like, we can see our tax waste. But because we're not doing any construction yet, we're going to be okay. It will be a bit of an issue, but I really do want to get to sawmills first. I think if we get the gold reserves built up over this period of time, actually, yeah, that being said, I do want to go to medium taxes. I want to get the gold reserves as high as possible, and then we'll go for centralization. Because I really do want to get construction sectors started sooner rather than later. If we go for centralization first and then steelworking, we got to go through two techs before we start construction. And we need to get construction started so that we can start selling urban buildings to get in order to get the industrialists unmarginalized. Do you need to study econ to play this game? No, I don't think so. I never studied econ. In fact, I would say I know very little about economics. Although I will say, after playing this game for so long now, I'm a little bit more interested in economics. But no, I don't think so. I'm slowly on the mend. Yes, fever has broken fully. Nice. But there's a lingering cough and sickness. I can deal with that, though. I have a good appetite. Can keep liquids down. Life is good. Nice. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, my friend. Thank God. Yeah, that was a little scary there for a minute. Glad you're back up and running. Yeah. Unpause, Britain goes for annex. Yeah, no, the one nice thing is at game start, you have a little bit of a buffer because of, I hate to say it, like, thankfully because of malaria. People need to get quinine before they really are going to start coming here. So we have that. Oh, Sardinia Piedmont joined in on this. That's fine. I mean, they're going to have to send troops, and they have 5 ships. So, yeah, good luck, guys. Minus 10% prestige when you've got 0 prestige ain't an issue. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're at 34. 35, look at that. Yeah, it doesn't really hurt me too much. Take the tea. Hey, new Joe. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Yes, take the tea. That's what we're gonna do. Oh wait, no. Take to the sea. I thought you were talking about. Do they have tea here? Oh no, I thought you were saying like, oh, they had tea here. We got to take the tea. Nope. Nope. Take to the sea is even more apropos. If I could read, if our literacy rates were higher, I could read, and I would have read that correctly. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Valor, great. Good afternoon to you too. Hello. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Hey, real Jack. What's up, Jack? What is up? What is up? Good to see you. How's your weekend? How's it going? The way malaria works in this game feels like the mosquitoes are racially motivated by how they go easier on people of similar culture instead of region. I know, right? Very, very helpful mosquitoes. I shouldn't joke though, malaria is no joke. And is a big problem, but in terms of game mechanics, it's helping us right now. What a creative flag. Yeah, I know, right? That's what we got. That's what we got. I don't actually know how the flag changes as we change government principles and stuff, so I guess we'll see. A perfect plan. Or a perfect flag, yeah. Can't type today. You can't type, I can't read. Happy Tuesday. Where you learn econ as you play. Yeah, yeah. You know, something, I feel like something that I'm missing in the Victoria 3 Reddit, I haven't seen in a while. When I first started going to the Reddit, it would be really cool whenever somebody would, like, ask something or mention, or if somebody would be like, why is this an aspect of the game? Somebody would be like, actually, there's historical precedent for this. And then they'd go into a big, long, like, economics and history lesson. I always used to love reading those. I noticed nobody's done that in a while. All right, France is going after Morocco. You need a bit of interest in economy, but not that much knowledge. Yeah. Knowing what supply, demand, and taxes are suffices. Yeah. It's actually a good way to put it. If you know supply, demand, and taxes, you should be good. It is true, though. I think, yeah, having some interest in it would make you have more of an interest in the game itself. Ah, okay, so they're gonna try to naval invade us with 2 battalions. So let's send these guys down here. That should be all we need to do. Thanks, Ham. Making me tear up a little. Aw. No worries, my friend. No worries. I'm glad you're doing well. I meant get access to the ocean. Yeah, it's also a quote. Oh, from Arrested Development. Oh, damn. Damn. I'm off my game today. I'm off my game. My home, Algeria, is going to unite. Good to see it. Yeah, I got it. Naval invasion. I'm doing good. How about you? I'm good. I am good. It's always fun to start a new stream, a new series. So I always find it really fun. So I'm ready. I am ready. I'm doing well. I started a world war last night. Ooh. Oh no, and it crashed your game. Oh, I shouldn't laugh, I'm sorry. But boy, what a war. A world war that destroyed the universe. At least for the people living in this world. In theory, malaria mechanics do make slight sense. Yeah, local people have some genetic resilience against malaria. which might be, but practically isn't that much, bound to regional variance. Yeah. No, yeah, I know. I mean, I get, it's a good point, right? I get why they have that mechanic. It just, it feels bad to be like, yes, we're benefiting from malaria. But yeah. There is some actual context to it. All right, so the Danish are going after the Niger Delta, as they do. No surprise there. Dan Denianke, the ever officious leader of the landowners, has approached the government with a plan to enact local police force. A successful enactment is certain to contribute to his reputation as an effective politician. We're gonna eventually probably go for this, as much as we don't really want it. But I would rather save it for a law negotiation than this. Excuse me. We can afford to lose the legitimacy and their happiness for now. Oh! Alright, and we got it. Oh, yep, and Sardinia Piedmont wants peace. We'll take that. What in the world can make the AI think it can take over a country when they barely have any ships? Yeah. This is going to be the big, what's going to be fixed in the next update. The big AI update, I think. Having 5 ships and sending 2 battalions for a naval invasion. Although I will say, in most of the African countries, sometimes that's all you need. But not Sokoto. Like, the Romans had more ships than Sardinia has. That's a good point. Naval invade a landlocked nation makes sense. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, Jabba, what's up? What's up, my friend? How you doing? How we doing? We're doing good. We just took over Benin, and so we have access to the sea. Good. They don't have any construction sectors to start with. They weren't building anything, so we're not going to start with anything in the queue. That's good. We win, and our literacy is 2% up already. I know, right? In game, not in real life. Yeah, we're not winning in real life. Do I need Excel to calculate wages? Nah, you don't. It'll do it on its own. You'll see in the game, like, things you can do to fix wages, but you don't need to, like, sit and calculate them at all. Okay. We're just going to immediately go for Oyo here. Let's take a save, because I think it's always good to save after you conquer a place. It's always good to save in general. That's all we're thinking about. So we're going to annex these guys. Hey, stop it, stop it. Oh, we got the Benin army here, so we'll add, 5 of them to the main army. And the rest of them there. And we'll wait for them to join up, and then we'll activate our troops. It's fine. I'll find out where the last autosave was. But as Sweden, Russia has their grips on a state I need for Scandinavia, and I need to recruit some allies to take it. Ah, yeah, that's always rough when you got like a great power in your way of something like that. All right, so we got that. We might, because of our infamy here, we might now get people, some neighbors joining in this. So we'll see what happens. Just so happens that a lot of adaptations that provide resistance against malaria also screws up your blood. Oh, which is sometimes deadly. Oh, is that what it is? Oof. Yeah. Yikes, 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 yikes. To outside observers, the armed forces may appear firmly committed to the idea of professional army. But behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of reform. So we lose 15% success chance. We only lose 10, and it costs some money. Or we take a setback, and we gain 5. I know we're going to get the next event that gives us plus 10. That'll give us 2 setbacks, but I don't want to lose 10 success at this. We could negotiate with the Sunni here. I think they'll all wait. I think I'll wait. Everybody when malaria prevention is researched. Africa players when it's researched. Yeah, Rutro. Do you need to integrate Benin? Eventually. We're going to integrate all this stuff, but we're not going to do it right now because we have no bureaucracy. We're not going to start integrating anything. Oh, see, look at this. Okay. Until we get centralization, and we can go to filing cabinets in the government admin. So we are going to just conquer all of this. And so, we'll mobilize these guys. We'll keep the defensive one Frosty there. In case we need them somewhere else. I'm guessing sickle cell anemia. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Is that what it is? Yeah. You generally look at earnings, which is both wages and profits added together. Oh, I have no idea how to plan the economy because the wages are dynamic. To be honest with you, I don't really plan the economy around wages. Eventually you start addressing wages, but I guess in my mind, I always think of it kind of separately. Wages will go up with, well, there's many things, but like the profitability of the building they'll go up, and then eventually as standard of living and everything goes up, and pops start demanding higher wages. But I think you can plan your economy without having to focus so much on the wages. I think you focus on the wages more in terms of how to raise your standard of living. So we have the logging camp here. So we got about a little less than 2 years left before we can go to the production method. Tooling workshops usually take about a year to build. So we'll see where we are. That's going to take some time. Hey, Cupperbutt, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, shout out everybody to Cupperbutt. Let me make sure. I'm so bad at always doing the shout outs, but I always want to do them. Cupperbutt is an awesome streamer. Awesome. Who does a lot of Civilization. That's how I found your channel. And then does a lot of other awesome streams. A lot of fun, very chill. So if you don't know, now you know. How you doing? Good to see you. I'm still laughing at your comment to that NPC from a few days ago. Oh yeah. Was it's in Pal World? The guy was like just pooping forever. You know, it's funny. Whenever I hear somebody say like, you know, something like, how do you know when you're ready to have kids? The line I always say to them is, have you ever thought to yourself, I never want to poop alone again? Then you're ready to have kids. Because at least at the beginning, you'll never poop alone. Because at the beginning, they're very small. So if you got to go to the bathroom, you don't want to leave them alone. So I learned that early on while I was sitting there with my daughter when she was like weeks and months old. I was like, I guess you're coming with me. And then eventually they get old enough that you can leave them in the living room on their own for a moment, but they don't want to be left alone. And so they start following you in. And then eventually you get to a point where you're like, you are way too old to be in here anymore. Get out. But yeah. So Pal World will prepare you for that is basically what I'm saying. Guess I'm never having kids. Yeah. If you like your privacy when you poop, don't have kids. Quote ham cuts. That's extremely fair. Yeah. Right? There's a lot of interesting things like that, I feel like, when you have kids you never really thought about. Have you ever thought to yourself, life is too easy. I need to turn up the skill level. Then have kids. I don't remember tagging along with my parents when I was little. Yeah, I know, right? Neither do I. I don't think I've ever thought to myself, I want to be in the bathroom when my parents are pooping. And yet, I think we've all done it. We've all done it. Maybe that's why you can't remember. That's why you don't have memories as an infant. Because your brain is like, you're not ready. You're not ready to remember this. And you're never going to be ready. We're just going to lock that away somewhere. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of professional army by Samia Rumfa has quickly devolved into a public relations disaster for the armed forces. Okay, so if we lose 15%, we're going to get a setback anyway. I'm going to do this. And now this is the other one where we'll gain 10%. So I guess we are going to negotiate with the Sunni Ulema here. Whispering through a haze of cigar smoke in Amadou Tourodi's private dining hall, the Sunni Ulema discuss what compromises they might accept for changing their stance on professional army. So yeah, so we could lower taxes here. I don't want to do political concessions and lose the authority on them. Raise standard of living, we're probably not going to do that. We could lower taxes to low for a little bit, because we're probably, for how long? Oh, for 4 years. Ooh, actually. It's a little bit longer than I would like to do. You know, we're going to take the standard of living one. As I just said, we're not going to be able to do that. Well, okay, maybe we'll do it. So we'll do that. And maybe we'll fail the promise. Who knows? I don't really care. My daughter learned the word privacy very early on. Good. Good for you. You're doing it well. Yeah. Now my daughter is now 8, and now she knows the word privacy for herself. She'll say to me, "A little privacy, please." Oh my God. The other day, it was like midnight. It was one of those nights I was like staying up longer than I should have. So finally I was going to bed. I was shutting everything down. I went to go to the bathroom. I guess my daughter had gone to the bathroom, but she didn't turn the light on, so I didn't know anybody was in there. So I opened the door and it hits her. I'm like, oh, sorry. And so she's sitting there in the bathroom, lights off. You can tell she's like half awake. Door hits her and she just goes, bruh. It's like, when did that happen? When did that happen? Bruh. Also, cannot be afraid of the poo no more. Yeah, yep, exactly. Gotta embrace it. You can also test it out with a cat. Oh, yeah, I bet, right? Oh, man. Because cats don't care about anybody's privacy. As far as I know, I don't have a cat, but as far as I know. Yeah, I like sleeping and drinking too much. I know. The problem is, so do I. That's the problem. So do I. Oh, man. Well, luckily, I have a wife who is a morning person. And so she gets up with them in the morning. Oh, man. So I have that. I don't sleep in. I mean, I don't really sleep in. On the weekend, I'll sleep in a little bit. During the week, I don't. But on the weekends, even then, she wakes up really early, as the kids do. Which I'll never understand that from kids. Bruh. I know, right? Like, what the hell? Yes, exactly. We told her privacy when going to the bathroom enough that even at 3, she's telling us privacy now. It's so funny when they're like 3 and they're like, little privacy, please. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know you knew the meaning of that word. Hey, you see, Bauer, hello. Welcome. How you doing? Good to see you. All right, so these tooling workshops are going to take about a year, little less than a year. We've got a little over a year for steelworking. So we might as well, because we're going to need this 3rd logging camp for these construction sectors. So we'll do that. When that's done, we're going to need to get a paper mill going in our capital. But we won't really need the paper mill until centralization is done. So we won't rush to it. So basically, when this is done, we're going to start building some furniture manufactories. And then, like, maybe some food industries in order to get some income going. In the midst of the debate surrounding professional army, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the armed forces, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. Yeah, so we'll take the plus 10% success chance. We don't need the pop attraction or the prestige. So we'll do that. Hey, Waka Hussein, hello. Greetings, Professor. Thank you. Greetings to you. Yeah, this morning I've been working on the syllabus for my new semester. Or syllabi. Since there's multiple classes I gotta create. And so yeah, I'm like back in the swing of it now. Alright, so we're starting to bring down the war score. The war is going well. We're gonna really swing out this way. We're at 65 infamy. I want to get these 2 guys too, so that we can start colonizing up this way when we get it. But maybe we'll let the infamy go down a little bit. When I'm cooking, suddenly that's the time when Boris thinks laying around my feet is the best place to lie. Wonder why. Yeah, I know, right? Like, oh my god, all the time. It's amazing to me how much, like, so my kids get back from their summer camp at like 5 o'clock. So I can't start cooking dinner until like 5:30 when we get back home. And it's amazing to me how much they're like, when is dinner going to be ready? When is dinner going to be ready? But then also, Dada, can you do this? Dada, can you help me? Dada, can you help me? And I always have to get to a point where I'm like, if you want dinner, leave me alone. Like, go away. So I can give you food. All right, that's a good looking Sokoto. Yeah, so now we got a bit of tax waste. It's okay though, because the other thing we can do is I might go for these guys now, because once we do, we can decrease the size of the military to lower that military wage cost. Because the thing is, we can't actually afford all of these soldiers, so I'm trying to use them before we have to disband them. The armed forces, so well known for their play work. Yeah, I know, right? The soldier playwrights. Remember when this playwright event would just give you permanent prestige? Yeah, I know. It's funny. I feel like I want to do a stream at some point where I load up like the like release of the game, like 1.0, and try it out just to see where it is, because I don't remember much. Just do everything they ask and make dinner at the same time. Yeah, I know, right? That's from their perspective what they want. Dada, just do everything I want at the same time and nobody gets hurt. Like, okay. All right, so we are going to take these guys. Oh, I mean, we do want to save though, right? You always got to save after conquest. So let's take these guys. All right. Where's our main army? We'll go over here. God, this is like the most conquest I've ever done in this game. A lot of you will remember I don't really like to do military stuff all that much. But we need to do this before we disband these soldiers. Children, if you don't leave me alone, I will send you to the mines. You always seem to enjoy digging holes in the backyard. I know. Actually, what I always say to my kids, so because I live in New York City and we have the river here, we actually have 2 rivers next to us. What I always say, like jokingly, when they're being annoying, I'm like, that's it. I'm throwing you in the river. That's usually what I say to them. I'm like, that's it. You're going in the river. Also remember when the mosque of, oh yeah, Jenny was a global modifier. You guys are really making me think I gotta load up the 1.0 of the game and try this again. It's kind of nice you like Superman. Yeah. I'm like, that's the problem. I'm like Superman, meaning I'm not Superman. They think I need to be, though. Alright, though, we are at the hour mark here. We're about to get hit by ads. And so we need to pay homage to the gods of ads here. Take a quick break so that we don't have to miss gameplay during ads. So, we're gonna take 90 seconds, and I'll be right back. All right, and we're back, and we're back. Let's see. What did I miss? Your kids don't ask for a spoon of butter? That's what we did. Oh my god, yeah, they do. It's funny, you know, my kids have like these like squishy toys, and they're like in the shape of food, and they have one that's just a stick of butter. So they walk around sometimes with like a pretend stick of butter in their mouth. And my daughter asked about that one time, like, oh, can I just have the butter? Can I try it? I'm like, no, I'm not just gonna eat butter. You know, butter is nice on things, but that's kind of gross. Oh, I forgot. Okay, we have this now. Because we took over Eastern Mali. So we'll add that to the queue. We're probably going to push that down the queue a little bit, though. All right. Oh man, we need to visit New York City. It's been over a decade since I've been. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love my home. I mean, I am biased. It is my home, but I do love it. It's funny because whenever I visit places, I'm always like, oh, I love this place. I could live here. I think I could live here. And then the moment I get back to New York, I'm always like, ah, I can't leave this place. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I know, right? Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll tell you what. My daughter keeps asking to get her own room. And by getting her own room, she means this room. I'm like, I don't want to lose my office yet. I don't want to lose my office. And so, she's still a little too young for it now, but I know there's going to come a day when she's got to take... that I'm going to have to separate her and my son so that they have separate rooms. I'm just like, no, I didn't think it was already going to happen. I think it's going to be a couple years. But in my daughter's eyes, or at least, I mean, in her mind, she's getting this room in like the next couple months. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe if you become a child star and start paying the rent in this place, I'll give you your own room. That a stick of butter exists as a toy had me laughing. I know. They can't. My wife got it somewhere, but I didn't know. So just one day I was sitting on the couch, and my daughter comes in with like a stick of butter in her mouth, and she was doing it to play a joke on me, and I'm like, what the hell is that? It's like a stick of butter. I mean, I could see it was squished down, so I knew it wasn't real, but I was like, why would somebody make like a squishy stick of butter? Clearly for people like my kids. All right, nobody joined in on this. That's nice. Oh, I can never live in New York City. I love it in small doses. Yeah. Yeah, it is a little, I don't know. It's a different kind of life. Sir, I think with all places you live, there's like benefits and disadvantages. There's a lot of benefits here, but it has its disadvantages, like any place. Like not having a yard is kind of rough with kids. Before kids, I never thought I needed a yard. But now, you know, when I go down to my parents' house, they do have a yard, being able to tell my kids, go! Go outside, leave me alone. It's kind of nice. Lawmakers working towards the enactment of professional army have found themselves mired in a particularly complex set of bureaucratic proceedings, grinding the work towards reform to a near halt. So we don't want to lose success, chance, or speed. Actually, normally I take this option, but now losing that bureaucracy for 5 years actually hurts a little bit more. We're going to take the success chance on that. I don't normally, but... Alright, so 16 weeks left on that, but we have about a year left. So yeah, we'll be able to finish the final logging camp, do the construction, and then we'll start adding stuff. Yeah, okay. Here's... Oh, wait. Oh, God, I forgot. Yeah, we do have construction sectors going because of the places that we took over. I don't really want all those there. We're going to delete these. Get our reserves back up. The problem is there's now something in the private queue. So we're now going to be continuing with less than 10 construction points. So that kind of sucks. But it's for the better. Can't be done. Jeff Bezos demands his room. I know, right? Hamill will get banished to the corner forever. I will. The corner of the dining room. So this is also the guest room. And so when my mother-in-law comes and visits, you know, this is the room she gets to sleep in. So I move this whole setup to a corner of the dining room. And I know that that's where I'm going to be when my daughter finally gets this room. And I'm holding out as long as I can. For sure, it's just too fast-paced for me. And the lack of yards hurts for sure. Yeah. Yeah, if you really love having a yard, you know, this isn't the place. Unless, of course, you know, you win the lottery and can buy your own brownstone. But then a lot of, if you can afford a brownstone, a lot of other problems in life are solved as well. Because you got a lot of money. I'm in the need of a huge yard. Oh, just tell my dog to go. Yeah. And yet, you know, tons of people have dogs in New York City. It's interesting. Though you go for walks a lot. That's kind of what you do with that. All right. So this is going well. Do we go for this one next? Because this would be the last one. Obviously, we have some stuff here. We can't... I don't want to go super infamous. But once we start the construction sectors, we're going to disband a lot of these soldiers in order to cut back on the budget. So I want to take land now while we still have them. Maybe you should move the setup to your son's room. Yeah. No, because the thing is, so I stream when either my kids are not home or asleep. And so I need the setup to be somewhere where they aren't. Or maybe your daughter will demand the PC as well, not just the room. I draw the line somewhere. I draw the line somewhere. Although maybe I will. By the time, you know... oh, wait, hold on. What do we got here? Alright, let's... we'll send these guys over there. By the time my daughter... Oh, we got professional army. There we go. By the time my daughter gets this room, it might be time for me to build a new computer anyway. So maybe I will end up doing that. All right, do we... we don't need to pause for this. What else do we want to do? So, we don't really need a different Navy model yet. But I don't really want to go to local police force because it's going to give the landowners more political strength. It will lower the amount of turmoil, though. Honestly, we could really use that. We're not going to be able to build in places. I think maybe we do go for local police force. The landowners are already powerful. And we'll cut down their power in other ways. The thing, though, is... like... we have two interest groups in government that we could use this as a negotiation. You know what we'll do? We'll change... oh, good, we got that. We'll change the Navy model now. Although we have no stall chance, we're not really going to need to. Can we get... yeah, we don't have a peasant movement yet. And we can't get any agitators. Yeah, we're not going to get anything we like from the absolutist movement. We could change the citizenship laws. Ooh. So the animist rights movement would help us with total separation. And the Sunni traditionalist movement, well, we don't really need help with that. And we can't go for it right now anyway. All right. Why don't I stop being precious about this? Let's go for local police force because we're taking over a lot of places. We need the turmoil to go down. At least I live next to a nature reserve. Oh, hey, that's nice. I bet your dog loves that. I would imagine. Let's hope for component price stabilization by then. Yeah, I know, right? By the time my daughter takes this room, I damn well hope there's no RAM-pocalypse anymore. I'm like, I want to get a new laptop, and I want to get a framework. And so I need to put RAM in it. I've been thinking about, like, who in my family could I steal RAM from? without them knowing. Personally, I don't go local because the landowners support dedicated police force too. Yeah, so when you start getting them, you can throw them a dedicated police force as a bone. I know. It pains me to go for it. See, the problem is, though, where is it? Yeah, we need law enforcement, and we're not going to get that for some time unless we get tech spread on it. Oh, we're getting tech spread on academia. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. 7 months left for this. 19 weeks for that. We'll see where we are by the end of it. Oh, interesting. We have these two construction sectors going. We still have a pretty good budget going. I guess maybe we'll keep it for now. Then when we build our two construction sectors, we'll delete these. Can you only have conscripts with mass conscription? No, you can have it now. In fact, we should add some. I kind of forgot. Now, if we were on peasant armies, peasant levies, we could only do conscripts and infantry and not any of these guys. But you still can get conscripts in any of the laws. But with mass conscription and with national militia, you get a lot more levies that you can add. So I had 4 there, we'll add 3 here. Alright, let's take a save. And we'll go after these guys. This will be the last little bit that we go for a while. Yeah. All right. The Anti-Dutch League, huh? Need to build more RAM factories, seriously. And not have companies deciding they're not going to... There was one company that said we're not even going to produce consumer RAM anymore. Like, that's also part of the problem. Need more RAM, just download it. Yeah, I know, right? Oh my god, I saw this video recently where somebody was building their own RAM in, like, their shed. And I mean, I didn't realize what went into making RAM. It straight up looked like a Breaking Bad situation. You know, like he was like working with chemicals and all this stuff. I'm like, there needs to be like a parody of like Breaking Bad where they're like in a camper in like hazmat suits making RAM. Can governments still suppress themselves, like landowners in charge using suppression of their own movements? I don't know. What in-game situation do you mean? I don't know how the interest group how the interest group itself suppresses movements. Also, I was just stupid last time I played. Sometimes I don't see the buttons. Wait, about the conscripts thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, well, they changed how it all looks. Yeah, because now, you see, like, if the main screen here, if we just press this is going to build more units. You have to expand it now in order to see the conscripts, whereas before you didn't. So, no, I mean, it's not your fault. There was a big change to the UI, and it's a little, you know, it's an extra button to press to get the conscripts now. Wow, nobody else joined in on this, huh? Okay. We're at 85 infamy, so this is, unless anybody else joins in this is the last little bit we're gonna do. We've got 13 weeks left. Let's start building our furniture manufactories here. And we will do hardwood here. And whenever we finish steelworking, wherever we are in these two things, we'll bump the construction sectors up. DIY ram kit. I wish. If it wasn't like a whole Breaking Bad situation, I watched that video to be like, oh, maybe I can do it on my own. The answer is nope. Nope, I cannot do it on my own. Like now suppressing the traditionalist movement, for example, using authority. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, like we would suppress them even though the most powerful group is the landowners. We could, yeah. Yeah, that's true. We do have the authority. You know, actually, you make a good point. I probably should do that. Because eventually this is going to come back to haunt us, and we can afford the authority. Let's do that. And let's suppress the pro-slavery movement for now. Because now we don't need to be passing laws quickly. So we can afford the loss of authority. Yeah, I never expanded it. Yeah. Yeah, I know. UI changes sometimes sneak up on you like that, right? Alright. Now, one nice thing is we absolutely need ports here. So the private sector is doing us a favor there. So we have local police force. Now let's just go for diplomatic fleet. We're going to want diplomatic fleet over capital fleet because, I mean, we don't need to push high prestige early on. What I really want is to be able to get higher levels of involvement with lower amounts of fleets, or lower amounts of ships, so that we can eventually affect trade. So that's why we'll start with diplomatic fleet. Later in the run, we might move to capital fleet, but for now, that'll serve us more good. All right, so continue this war. We've got a pretty bad budget at the moment. We're only 4 weeks away. So let's get rid of these guys. Oh yeah, you know what? Hold on. We'll stop suppressing the pro-slavery movement, because now that we're going to get construction sectors... Oh, God. we're not really getting anything for this stuff. All right, we will suppress them for now. All right, so we've got that. Let's disband their army. Let's disband this one. Let's disband the Oyo army. And we're left with our 3. To start, we'll go down 5 on each one. All right. We've got steel working. So let's put the construction sectors up here. Let's start with sawmills. Oh, you know what I should have done? In order to get the tooling workshops going, I should have been using the tools in the millet farms. You need a shipyard. Yeah, I do. That's why I want to get the turmoil down here, because we're losing 33% state construction efficiency. But you know, I was gonna let these guys finish it, but they have like no construction points. But I do need to get some buildings that are gonna make us money first. We're gonna finish the furniture manufactories. Then we're gonna build our own port here. And then we're gonna get a trade center going. And then we'll go for the shipyard. I don't want to add it to the queue yet, though. Landowners, I hate my own power base. The good the good kind of class trader. I know. If only those existed in real life right now. Yeah, so our government waste is massive. So now we've got about 33 months left on centralization. When we get about halfway, we'll start building the paper mills here, so that we can go to the next production method in these government admins. All right, good. So this is going to hire up. And you can negotiate embassies and treaties easier too. Yeah, which is helpful. Which certainly is helpful. All right. Oh, get rid of that. So let's get these built up. Yeah, but for real, or would help if there were more than just 3 manufacturers globally. Yeah, isn't that like what's insane? I never knew, like, how is there only 3 manufacturers of this, like, worldwide? I had no idea so few companies were, like, actually producing this stuff. So yeah, we have all these input good shortages for the millet farms just because of the tools. So as this hires up, those will go away. Let's subsidize it for now, because we need these as high as possible. Is it normal to end up with an incredible deficit in authority by the end? It depends on what you try to do. I think that you don't want to have a huge deficit of this because you gain a bunch of radicals because of it. You just have to start cutting back on a lot of this stuff. So I wouldn't keep a huge deficit. If it is small, you know, if you're getting like 1% radicals from it when you're in the negative, I think that's not so bad. But if you are getting, you know, elevated amounts of radicals from it, it's probably good to back off some of the things you're doing on authority. So many electronics companies have high entry barriers, so only a few end up making them. Same with GPUs. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, I've never really thought about the production of this stuff before until now. They're always just like the plumbing. You don't really think about the plumbing until your toilet's backed up. That's how I think about RAM producers right now. They're like toilets. Authority deficit kind of bad. Yeah. I do not like it. Yeah. Yeah, not good to have if it's very high. I think sometimes you can be like if I had like a negative 50 right now, or negative 20 maybe, I'd be like, yeah, it's fine. But when it gets a little too high, it can be a problem. Yeah, see, like, with the amount of construction points they have, and the hit to construction efficiency, that's going to take forever. We got to build one ourselves. So we're going to add another port here. Then we'll get a trade center going. We'll do that, and then a shipyard. Oh, there it is. I'm like, oh my god, why can't we do this? And then we'll move this to the very bottom. But at some point in here, we're going to be putting paper mills. I ended up with a 1K deficit and nothing drawing from authority except for Sweden just being Sweden. Not sure how to manage that, but I also ended up with far more loyalists than radicals. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, you end up losing a lot of authority just because of law changes. Because the more authoritarian laws you have, the more authority you have. So when you start switching to like more democratic forms of government and voting laws and all that, you start lowering the amount of authority you're generating. And that's usually the problem. Yeah, I like the increased enactment speed from the surplus, though. Sometimes you really need it. Like if I'm going to pass a law just for the purpose of appeasing a movement so that I can immediately pass a law they don't like, I'll want to take some of this stuff off. Take some of this stuff off so that I can get increased amounts of enactment speed so that I can pass the law the movement doesn't like as quickly as possible. So yeah, sometimes you really do need to just build up the authority based on the type of law you're trying to pass. All right. So we're gonna... Yeah, we're gonna have to lower the military again. And we'll go down 10 here. Oops. Ruh-roh. So this is what we were talking about earlier. So at least now we're not in the red here. We're losing budget, but we've got 430k built up. And so we've got 27 months to get centralization. I believe political concessions needs authority to maintain. Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful with the concessions as well. Though you should be able to get rid of those after a certain period of time. I forget how long you have to have them before you can actually get rid of them. Pretty good looking Sokoto so far. We really need to get to colonization. We're getting tech spread on academia, so we're almost there for that. And we're getting, oh, gunsmithing right now. Oh, we can be able to build arms industries. I tend to avoid using them. I still use them. Sometimes I won't take it though, but I think that I do use them still, but I also try to get rid of them as quickly as I can. Actually, depending on the interest group. Like, if you need to empower the intelligentsia or the trade unions, sometimes I'll just keep it around. I just went very democratic and seemed like not much authority to be gained there. Yeah. Yeah, when you start going very democratic, you start losing a lot of the authority that you were generating. I have to keep a better eye on that. Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. That's what makes this game so interesting, is that there's a million things to keep your eye on. Lord knows I lose sight on a lot of things in this game. Amadou Turodi, leader of the ruling Sunni Ulema, has had enough of compromising with his coalition partners. He has demanded that either his collaborators follow his orders, or the Sunni Ulema will never approve of their changes. Yeah, I mean, so we have Sharia here. So we're getting extra authority, but we're at +7, so we can afford for them to be a little more unhappy. Oh yeah, and this guy would lower in prominence, which we don't mind. Yeah, we'll take that. After a chance meeting in a cafe with a thoughtful conversation, Sekou Dadi has recommended that Yaqub Said Tal, currently residing in Sokoto, be granted permanent residency. An armed forces traditionalist? Doesn't really help us. We will add some political strength, though, for the armed forces. They'll help us get... We want to make sure they're still on the board here. They've lost a lot of power because we just got rid of a lot of troops. But we'll need them in order to start enacting a colonization law. Also, what Ham is saying, as you democratize, you get less authority, yeah. I figured that was most of what was happening for me, but I definitely, yeah, have concessions out. Hand them out like candy, yeah. And people really keep fighting me on multiculturalism, though. I know, right? It's one of the harder laws to pass, even still. Some texts increase the amount of authority. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that you get. So sometimes I wait a bit before going extra progressive if I really need the authority. All depends on what country you're playing with. That's true. Tech too. Tech will give you some stuff. The fervently nationalistic armed forces has turned its rhetoric towards Portugal and its province of Portuguese Guinea. They have begun lobbying for hostile action against Portugal to realize their territorial ambitions. Sure. I don't really care about my relations with Portugal at the moment. My record deficit for authority is negative 5.67k when I put greener grass on every state in North America and the decree cost reduction ran out. Didn't have any negative effects due to high loyalists. That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Negative 5.67k. I remember when 1.13 came out and they had changed political concessions that they now cost authority. when you would load one of your saves from the previous version, it loaded up and you had these massive authority deficits because now it was costing you authority that it wasn't before. Those were kind of fun. Those are kind of fun to see. Kind of ruined a lot of runs because of that. Though previously opposing the diplomatic fleet laws, Yaqub Said Tal has considered the armed forces' political position and instead offers support. So we can gain 10% success chance, or just 5. We'll take this. Now this guy, he's a traditionalist. We can make him the head of the armed forces because right now the current head of the armed forces is an authoritarian. He's giving them political strength. -2 opposition interest group approval. We have no opposing interest group at the moment, though. Nothing here for interest group leader. So the +5 political strength. Yeah, this guy might be a better head of the armed forces. So let's do that. And it opens up our agitator slot. And at least now we don't have authoritarian armed forces. They need to fix the innovation and tech spread display. Yeah, ever since the last couple of hotfixes, it's become harder to see the numbers unless you have a very short list of tech research. Yeah, agreed. I am kind of annoyed by this whole thing. Yeah, because they added the search bar here. I bet that'll be coming in the next update, because I can't imagine that's gone unnoticed. Damn, where are you going for the hegemony objective? Yeah. Takes a village to play this game. That's what I always say. That's what I always say. That's my house words. It takes a village to play this game. No matter what the game is, it takes a village. No, I wanted to see how many pops I could get into North America. Not because of any kind of objective. It ended with more than 850 million. Wow, migration ran out. Could have been more. Yeah, that is kind of a crazy number. Wanted 1 billion. Like and subscribe, chat. We need to get Paradox to give Ham the code for the next DLC. Thank you, yes. Oh, I appreciate that. Yes, like and subscribe, please. I wish. It pains me when, like, people come in and they ask for my creator code and I have to be like, I don't have one. Because that means somebody would have used it, but they can't. I don't really know. I don't really know who you contact about that. In the words of Mitch Hedberg, it's all about who you know, and I know Crackle. Yeah, you could go censorship and oppress the slavers further. This is true. Yeah, we're oppressing them right now. So far we're okay. And then once the problem is once we get centralization, we're gonna want to put some road maintenance down. Oof! Look at this tax waste though. It's killing us. 19 months, but we're gonna be okay because this was the plan. We have 322k in the reserves. We're losing 3.2, so we should be okay. And we're gonna start producing some buildings that will make some money. Secret police as well, yeah. Oppress the oppressors. Beat them at their own game. If only we could do that in real life right now. We do have a lot of radicals, but that's because of the conquest. We also need to start incorporating a lot of these places. We have a lot. Oh, nice. Yeah, we already had that. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna need a lot of bureaucracy here. Hey, Reverse Hamcuts, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. In your opinion, is Sokoto the African country with the greatest long-term potential? Resources, workforce, location. Well, maybe sub-Saharan Africa. I mean, Egypt is definitely like the most predominant African nation here in terms of resources and starting power and all of that. I don't know. It's tough because the Cape Colony has a lot. You do start off as a subject. But I would say if you're not looking at Egypt, Sokoto and Cape Colony are probably the two best ones. But I think because Sokoto starts off independent, then yeah, I would say Sokoto is probably the best one for that. For the greatest long-term potential, yeah. That's why I wanted to do a Sokoto run here. I've never done a full one. I want to see like how high we can go as Sokoto. Because I do feel like they start off in a very good position. Yeah, look at this. It's going to take us 81 weeks to get this port built. But we got to do it. We have no access to the world market. He's so funny enacting secret police, then use the arrange accident on the guy that asked for secret police. I know. It's always what authoritarians forget about. It can always be used on them as well. If you don't count Egypt, then Gaza or Cape Colony after Sokoto. Yeah, I would agree with that. I do, yeah. I think Sokoto is probably goes like in terms of African countries with the strongest potential. Egypt, Sokoto, Cape Colony. And then, yeah, Gaza. Well, Gaza's on the sea. I was thinking, what about Transvaal? The Transvaal is a lot different now. And you don't have access to the sea. So, yeah, maybe Gaza. I mean, Marina Kingdom is not bad. The problem is, Marina Kingdom, someday I'm going to do a stream with Marina Kingdom. You really start off with just like 2 techs. And then you got to start from there. I guess we didn't start that far. Yeah, we only have 1 more tech actually than the Marina Kingdom now that I think about it. But yeah, you start off really far behind. Actually, you might not even start off with any researched. I don't know. That was the first step of my strat to ban slavery in the USA. Let the Democrats win a comfy majority, get censorship and secret police, and then the Whigs can win. Give karma. Yeah. Democratize oppression. That's the American way right there. I also like Sokoto because of the flag. I'm just a fan of complex flags. All the symbolism behind them is almost overwhelming. Yeah. Yeah, very simple, right? We're green. You might look into Lurk It. It sounds like Paradox uses them for creator sponsorships. Oh, really? Oh, thank you for that. I don't know about that. Oh, I feel like this website looks familiar. Oh, interesting. Okay, thanks for that. I'm going to leave this website up so I remember to look at it later. Hey, Arpa Shamran, hello, hello. Hey, just started playing again recently and found your videos. So I've learned a lot, so thanks. Oh, nice. I've got a question, though, if that's okay. How do I keep growing after running out of peasants? Ah, yes, good question. All right, so we got gunsmithing here. First of all, thank you. Thanks for, I'm glad the videos are helpful. Thanks for coming in to say so. I appreciate it. How do I keep growing after running out of peasants? There's a couple things to do. Once you start running out of peasants, the labor-saving PMs are very important. Running out of not having people not being peasants anymore is good in and of itself, but the other benefit of running out of peasants is that you really want to utilize these labor-saving PMs because they eliminate laborer jobs. Laborer jobs are the lowest paying job in a country. They get no wage bonuses. So once you start eliminating laborer jobs, you really start raising your standard of living. So first thing I would do is look at all of the resource industries you have, start utilizing the transportation. This will make your railways very profitable and have the added benefit of having people no longer be a laborer, freeing them up to have a better job. So the labor-saving PMs, and then you start really looking at your migration. Maybe putting down like a greener grass campaign. And as you start increasing, using the labor-saving PMs, increasing your standard of living, this will also help with the migration attraction. And so they both kind of work together to start getting you mass migrations. Along from there, go to open borders, try to get your citizenship laws as high as you can to increase the amount of acceptance people will have, and you'll start getting people moving to your country. The Sunni Ulema in House of Land are assuring peasants that despite the harsh conditions of their lives, they are serving the greater good of the Sokoto nation. Serfs shall be rewarded in the hereafter for their service. Oh, always. Thing they've been telling the serfs and the peasants for the entirety of human history. So plus 50% loyalists from political movements. From a lowered amount of yeah, let's lower the amount of radicalism from political movements because well, actually, no. We're not getting any from political movements. All right, let's add to loyalists from political movements. See if that moves the needle at all. Academia. All right. The rich and unstable political environment in Sokoto has proven attractive to political exiles and stateless people who have begun to congregate in the coffee houses of Sokoto. Alpha Bello. An intelligentsia authoritarian. No, we'll get minus 10% radicals in political movements. I'd rather not have that person. All right. So now we're going to start doing... Oh, how are we on tools? Let's use it here. Let's start with a paper mill. And then we'll start with, 2 here, 1 here. $58 weeks on that. 12 months here. Oh, perfect. We'll get it pretty much right at the same time. Maybe we'll start with 1 university here, 1 there. Because I want to see where we are with paper after we go to filing cabinets in the government admin buildings. We got distillation, awesome. How are the slavers going to complain if we just ignore them? Yeah, exactly. That's the strat. I've already said this, but there needs to be a westernization system for unrecognized countries, an option to adopt clothing, laws, and technologies. Yeah, something what Japan had, but for everyone. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, actually. I think that would be a very interesting dynamic, and I think apropos for the time, right? Some people embrace that, some people resisted it. You could have benefits and drawbacks to both. Viewing Portuguese ownership of Portuguese Casamanca as a crime against the Sokoto nation, the petite bourgeoisie have put their weight behind the Anti-Portuguese Association. Okay. Who are in these? No problem. I think it's hit or miss on what goes there, but probably with keeping an eye out, or worth keeping an eye out. Yeah, yeah. I appreciate that. I will keep an eye on that one. Better westernization than in Vicky 2, because once you started to reach that point, every local power started a war with you. Oh no. So I understand the labor-saving PMs, but all of them use resources I don't have. I'm playing Haiti. How do I get them for cheap so I can generate better jobs? Do I just get free trade and pray? So if you're playing as Haiti, yeah, you need to rely a lot on trading and trade centers. So I would build up trade centers, but you also really want to focus on your navy and maybe even really just go for diplomatic fleet. So you get the, oh my god, the ship involvement generation right here. And then really keep an eye on your involvement in the countries that you're trading with in order to get those goods. If you, so get a good involvement in the places that have the goods you need, like, yeah, so you don't have coal. Coal would be a big one. So go to, like, the world market. Who's exporting the coal, right? So if it were this game right now, Great Britain is the only exporter of it. Try to get your involvement up here. Try to get trade privileges and stuff with them. And then build up your level of trade centers so that you have enough trade capacity. And then just start flipping on the labor-saving PMs. They'll start consuming the good. It'll create a demand for them, and the trade centers will start trading for them. And so you can start getting your market. You start getting imports on that. Free trade with Haiti, I think, is good because you get the trade advantage. I would, though. I feel like somebody like Haiti, you're going to want to stay on protectionism for a period of time because you are going to need to tariff some exports so that you don't have the goods you need being exported. We got a drought going on. Wonderful stuff, huh? You need qualifications before using PMs, otherwise it's just creating unemployment. Oh, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, you need the PMs. Yeah, the tooling workshops are going to be a problem because of that. We've got it hired up now. We need to create more of a demand, especially here. We really need centralization here, though. We do have... I mean, we're going to get to it. We have a lot of reserves. The greater good, yeah. Dude, I didn't know that. 1,000 hours, and I always understand the PM saving. Well, thanks. Always learn. Yeah, no problem. I know, there's always something in this game, right? There's so many little hidden mechanics in this game. Oh, the greater good. Oh, I get, yeah. I was like, Hot Fuzz. The greater good. Yeah, Hot Fuzz is a great movie. I love that movie. That whole trilogy they did of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. Because I said Simon Pegg said that he always thinks of those three as like, that's like a trilogy of movies. Even though they're not really related to each other that much. But they're so great. The first, not the first date, but the first movie date me and my wife went on was to go see The World's End. Sokoto coffee houses must be wild with all the malaria. Yeah, right? Yeah. Unless, of course, you know, you can enclose the building and maybe... Oh, yeah, it'd be wild. That's where everybody wants to be, right? We've got our standard of living just kind of bouncing around here. Hey, Matwese, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. What's the objective for this run? This is just going to be a Be Awesome run here. We're not hunting an achievement on this one. There's no Sokoto-specific achievement. And so we're just going to try to do like we did with the Australian run. Just get to the heights. Just get as high as we can go. Look at this. We're so far along and yet still 83 weeks. See, the other thing about getting some bureaucracy going is get a little bit less state penalties from turmoil. I noticed a cool detail. In your thumbnails, you make an effort to pick an image from the game that fits the country you're playing with. What attention to detail. Yeah, that's right. I'm glad you noticed. I know. I always try to find something. And, you know, the more series I do, the harder it is, because sometimes I've already used an image, so I like to use something different. But yeah, it makes me happy that you noticed that. Wait, does getting a good involvement make them cheaper? Yes. So now with the new involvement system, so you can see at level 1, you don't get much. At level 2, you get plus 10 trade advantage for imports, exports. Level 3, you get plus 25. I don't think we have level 4 anywhere for me to show. And then level 4, you get plus 50. So what this means is, we'll take... Yeah, we'll take, let's say... Yeah, here we go. Say we were trading with Spain right now. We can get up to plus 10 trade advantage for imports, exports. So if, let's take the imports. If Spain was giving us 100% of our supply of coal, we would get plus 10 points of trade advantage from that. And then let's say like they were giving us 50% of our supply of coal, we'd get plus 5 points of trade advantage. And then same thing, let's say we were exporting tea to them. If they were getting 50% of their tea from us through a trade, we would get plus 5 points of trade advantage. So you can get up to plus 10 points of trade advantage for level 2. And so you can get pretty high levels. So the higher your level of involvement, the more trade advantage you can get on your trades with countries in that region. And the better your trade advantage, the better import-export price you get. Oh, did I miss the... Oh, no, I didn't miss it. Okay. We're about to get hit by ads, so I got to take a quick 90-second break, pay homage to the gods of ads. So 90 seconds, and we'll be right back. And we're back. And we're back. All right, let's see what I missed here. They're very good date movies. Yeah, they are, right? Oh, I love Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Those guys are so good. I'm currently taking a nursing course. Oh, cool. I have to go to the institution and learn from the other students. I remembered why I hated school. Seriously, was your teacher training, for example, stressful? There's no teacher training for the college level, at least here in the US. It's more, you need a master's degree, which I have, and then just kind of like experience in the industry. And so that's it. Actually, the first teaching job I got, like, they don't prepare you for anything. They're just kind of like, go teach this class, do your thing. And so you really kind of learn on the fly just how to teach a class. Luckily, I started teaching my first class when I was 27. So I wasn't that far removed yet from college. I still kind of remembered just the general flow of things. Algorithm hates your efforts. Yeah, the algorithm's never too fun to me, I feel like. This thumbnail gonna be the flag. Yeah. I wouldn't mind it, right? It's pretty hard to find your content by searching Victoria, except maybe the outdated guides. Oh, is it really? Yeah, God, I don't know what to do about that, right? I don't know. Hey, Christendale, hello, welcome back. How you doing? Hey, Ham, how's it going? Have you managed to get the Learn the Game achievement yet? It's a tough one. Do you know what's funny? It is a little tough. I have gotten that one, but yeah, it is a little tough, surprisingly. I have gotten that one, though. Oh, hey, Cornwallis, thank you for the subscription. Oh, I appreciate that. 7 months, wow. Hello, what an entrance, my friend. What an entrance. I appreciate that so very much. Welcome back. How you doing? Okay, so in that case, I just need to invest heavily into Navy LARP, right, if I want to do as Haiti. Yes, so with this new, like, 1.13 update, the Navy is very important now for trade. If you got to decide, like, what type of fleet are you going to have? Is it really going to be like a military fleet, or do you just need it to help with trade? That's how you're going to pick your naval law. And then basically, we don't have any trade centers for me to look at right now, but like, actually I can look at Hades. Look at your trade center. Look at who you're trading with. Oh man, Cornwallis and the cheer. And the cheer, the MVP today. Thank you so much. Cheer 100, very well, my friend. Oh, good. I appreciate you so much. Welcome back, my friend. How's your weekend? I hope all is well. So, like, look at your trade center here, and then take a look at, like, who are you trading with the most, right? Like, right now, Haiti is exporting all of these units of tobacco with a bad trade advantage. So you want to fix this because you want these tobacco plantations to be profitable. So take a look at negative 43.7 on interests. Who are you trading the most with? And so you look at these percentage of of exports here. So Haiti right now is covering 14% of Russia's imports of this, and 15% for the French, 12% for Austria, so, and 14% for Prussia. So if I were Haiti right now, I would get some ships and then send them to either Western Europe or Eastern Europe, because you can try to cover Western Europe and Eastern Europe, get better trade advantage with France, with Prussia, and I think there was a Belgium in there as well, right? And so park your ships out here to project power and get your level of involvement up in these regions. And so that's kind of the name of the game now with trade advantage. All right, let's continue. Should I subsidize trade centers? I think it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Though you shouldn't have to subsidize them forever. As long as you're producing merchant marines, so your merchant marines aren't too expensive, and you're getting your trade advantage up, the trade center should become profitable. But yeah, I mean, I would say if like your trade advantage is horrible and your merchant marines are expensive, and nobody is getting employed in the trade centers, then you could subsidize them for a period of time. But getting yourself better trade advantage makes the trade centers more profitable, and then you don't need to subsidize them. My Bezos allowance has not arrived yet. Sorry. No, it's okay, my friend. I understand. Yeah, I know what you mean. I love the terminology too. My Bezos allowance. I know exactly what you mean. Same thing. Same thing with me. My Bezos allowance has been spent for the month. No worries at all. $12 weeks. 15 weeks. Excellent, excellent. Just in time. That was the plan. I originally had thought we'll get our reserves a little bit down all the way here. Right by the time we get centralization. So far, so good. We've got influence up. So infamy decay is getting plus 21%, which is good. We can get this back down. Thanks. This has been very educating. Yeah, of course. No problem. No problem. I don't mind answering any questions. I love answering questions about Victoria 3. It's like DeWolfie said before, it takes a village. Oh, look at this. Okay, we've got a lot in the investment pool, so let's start. We have one urban building. Oh, actually, we got two now. Yeah, this is being subsidized. We're probably not going to buy it, but let's privatize so that we can get the industrialists unmarginalized. I guess we don't have much of a demand for fancy furniture yet. No, we do. I guess, yeah, because of the tools. Oh. Hey, Cornwallis, thank you. Thank you for more cheers. I appreciate it. Oh, just got my tariff refund check. My Doge check. In my account today. It's raining checks, baby. Oh, man. Nice, nice. Wait, what do you mean your tariff refund check? What is that? Oh, I appreciate it, though. Thank you so much. Very, very awesome of you. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, how do I get a tariff refund check? The Anti-Portuguese Association has requested that we establish an embargo against Portugal. Successfully acting on the proposal will gain our government significant goodwill with the lobby. I mean, we're going to say no to this. They already have +1 appeasement. These guys are already super happy. So, yeah, we'll be at -4. But we're not doing any trade yet. Well, we're not doing any trade. Yeah, fine. We'll do it. We'll embargo them for right now. Yeah, so that puts them at +6. When we finally start doing trade, maybe we'll just not embargo them anymore. How would you open a game where conquest was the goal? Honestly, the beginning of the game is still kind of the same, because the thing about conquest is you need to have a strong economy to afford conquest, because you still have to, if you want to build up a large army, you need money to pay for it. So I would spend the beginning part of the game, like the first 10 years, maybe 15 years, just building up a strong economy, you know, making sure you have profitable buildings that are covering all of the staple goods, maybe some of the luxury goods, and building up trade and everything, so that you can afford to have the soldiers and build the inputs for the army. The military in this game is largely about supply. How well supplied are your soldiers, and can you afford to pay them? So I would still take the beginning of the game kind of the same. You have to build up your economy and then build up the military. That's kind of my take on it. The armed forces suggest a more hardline foreign policy towards Borgu due to our poor relations. Now, of course, some countries start off with a better economy than others, so you might be able to go more towards building up the military sooner rather than later with some countries. But like, let's say we were just going to go super conquest with Sokoto, I would still be doing the same things I'm doing right now, because we need to be able to afford more soldiers before we can build up the army. Oh, I made a clip of the Haiti trade advantage fix. Oh, nice. Thank you. Oh, we got centralization. Yes. I don't know if anybody's ever clipped me before. You might be the very first one ever. I don't know. At least that I know of. Thank you for the clip. I'll check it out when the stream is done here. Okay. Okay, so before we switch over the government admins, we got to finish this paper mill. You know, we're going to add a second one after the universities are built. With the attitudes of the armed forces towards Portugal growing more apathetic, their leadership has begun to discuss reassessing the group's support for the Anti-Portuguese Association. Yeah, that's great. Leave that. Lurk. Ah, nice. You know I appreciate a good lurk. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you, thank you. All right. All right, we got 2 more weeks till the paper mill is done. Might I dare say we could actually finish this commitment? I don't know. How is that furniture manufacturing going? Wait, what's going on here? Oh, it finally finished. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, let's go over here. Filing cabinets. Whoa, look at that. Oh yeah, let's go to secular in both. And now we have plus 75 government admin. So let's start with incorporating Benin. So we're going to get this stuff done. Then we're going to build more government admin. So that we can start incorporating more of our places. Nice. Did kind of rush when I played Romania, but I did become a great power. But at what cost? Hey, becoming a great power as Romania, though, is still pretty good. But at what cost? Or what's the meme? Yeah, what did it cost you? Everything. Nice run. Yeah, Mu Lambda Theta. The cost is crippling Giga Greek debt. Is true. Is true. Giga Greek debt. I like that. I want to let's make that a term. How much does it cost to go to the doctor here in the United States? Giga Greek debt. There you go. It's funny because it's true, and if you don't laugh, you're just gonna cry. All right. Nice. So this is hiring up, which should make this start hiring up very shortly. Now, why? I would like to do that. Yeah, I guess, you know, we really could afford to get a second one of these. When we get lathe, that'll be good. We really do need a tooling workshop over here, too. Yeah, cry because you're in Giga Greek debt. Yes. It is true. Yep, that's what brings on the tears. God, dare I say we might actually be able to afford another construction sector. Or maybe even... Why are we not getting people here? Maybe because we're using violent treatment? Yeah, let's use, Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, let's use exploitative practices. We don't need to be exploiting people. Oh, and let's go to sawmills all around. I think we have some livestock ranches now, right? Let's go to butchering tools. Wait, what am I doing? No. What the... I don't, what the hell am I doing? No, we don't want to do that yet. Yeah. Yeah, we need more tooling. So let's put one here. I want to get these universities done, though. There were a few guys on the subreddit asking if they could spend on construction until default, then declare bankruptcy to eat the debuffs and repeat. So, yeah, you could do that. I would say, because, like, in general, bankruptcy is not, like, a game over in this game by any means. I would say, though, I would want to make sure I have some ironclad alliances before I do that, because you're going to be on a hefty negative offense-defense to your armies for quite a while. And then... what are the other debuffs? Yeah. And then there's all the other stuff. I think this is a tough one, though, because if you get attacked, especially very early on to your bankruptcy, you know, it's going to be game over unless you can bring somebody else in. So I guess it kind of depends on the country you're using. All right, let's add one more. Because I mean, God, we have the money for it, you know? Yeah, the military wages will stay where they are, though. Durateri, hello, how are you? With all this money, shouldn't you be building... Oh, more construction sectors. Yeah, exactly. Thought the same thing. I should be. Now, the only problem is I know I don't have enough of the construction materials, but yeah, if we have the money. The one problem here, though, is that, I mean, this is a lot of budget. I can probably afford much more. But with Sokoto, we really do need to be careful not to get ourselves into a situation where we hit debt. This is an extremely high interest rate, 34%. Like some countries where you'll get to like 20%. And those are countries too that you're like, oh, I absolutely don't want to hit debt. But 33% would be like crippling. That being said, though, we have a pretty good budget, but I would like to get the reserves up a little bit. But that being said, yeah, I mean, we absolutely should get more construction going. Yeah, radicals and every company loses their wealth. Yeah. Yeah, the bankruptcy basically eliminates the cash reserves of all the buildings. Which hampers your reinvestment, because a building is going to send money to the cash reserves, lowering the amount that they're sending to reinvestment. So your reinvestment goes down. So it's an interesting idea to test out. I have a feeling, though, long term, it's better to just to just have a healthier economy. You know, but it would be an interesting thing to test out. I don't think it's a crazy idea. I think it's interesting. All right. Yeah, I'm just so... This budget tempts me so much to keep going with these construction materials. Let's add one more. God, this though. Oh, look at that. Okay, the subsistence farms. How many... Wait, how many cotton plantations do we have in the country? Oh, we have one here that's providing quite a bit. Okay. That's interesting. I increased the interest here in the US and my trade centers are making money that this guy Ham might know how to cook this stuff. Hey, good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad it helped. Yeah. Yeah, with the 1.13 update, your Navy is now very, very important for trade. So, yeah, good. I'm glad it worked out. All right, so how are we doing on paper here? Yeah, by the time we finish these, we're going to need a second paper mill. When the government tells me bankruptcy is part of the plan. Yeah. Yeah, bankruptcy is all part of the plan. Yep. Some governments do be like that. It's probably most worth it if a big war leads you to a default. Oh, but you were about to win. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes there's like wars I go into where I'm just like, we're probably going to have to declare a bankruptcy from this. And fine, whatever. Actually, the last run we did with Australia was like that. When we did the independence war against Great Britain, I'd said we're probably going to go bankrupt because of this, but it's worth it because we'll be independent. And luckily, we had gotten to like right here and then won the war. And then because we weren't paying those subject payments anymore, we suddenly had a positive budget. So we just squeaked away from getting a bankruptcy. But a bankruptcy, like for an independence war, would totally be worth it. By the way, did you know ownership of subsistence farms halves reinvestment rate, even impacting normal buildings owned by manor houses? No, I did not know that. I did not know that. Hold on, let's take a look at that. Yeah, so these guys... Yeah, they own a bunch of subsistence farms. Interesting, interesting. So if they didn't own all of these subsistence farms, we'd get a bigger investment here? That's fascinating. That is 91% of manor houses in Houseland's total property portfolio. Ah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so even more of a reason to de-peasant. Which is tough when you have a lot of peasants. Or, I guess, lower the amount of arable land you have. Oh, did we ever end up selling any of those buildings? No. Yeah, let's get this going. Oh, did we get... Did they finish one of those? Yes, we got a port. We got a port. Now we just need a trade center. Honestly, I might bump this up. Yeah, it only takes 8 weeks. Get the trade center done. All right, international relations, excellent. So now we're working on colonization. And then we can move over to the production line. Yeah, so normally manor houses reinvest 20%. If they own subsistence, it's 10. It's half of what they... If half of what they own is subsistence, they reinvest 15. Which makes agrarianism a bit less appealing. Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow. Okay. That's interesting, because I've been thinking about, oh, I want to try doing an agrarian run. I was thinking I might try it in this run. I wasn't actually decided yet. I was going to kind of wait to see where the winds take me in this run. But that does change things up quite a bit. The manor houses are not going to invest as much. That also, you know, that also really helps with the speed of industrialization. Because especially at the beginning here, remember the who gets to put what in the private construction queue is dependent on how much somebody is giving to the investment pool. And usually the reason why you always, when you first build your construction sectors, you get all of these agrarian buildings because the manor houses are always providing the most. So you need to get financial districts and get them to be investing a little bit more. So having the manor houses giving less to the private queue or to the investment pool, I think that would help speed up industrialization. So that's interesting. Oh, damn. Yeah, I forgot we're not doing merchant marines yet. I mean, I can move the port to cargo port and then try to import the clippers. At least import the clippers for now. But hey, we finally have some trade going. What's our trade law? Yeah, mercantilism. Ah! We've got the intelligentsia. Yeah, but we can't use them at all. We really need to get off traditionalism. We need to get off of serfdom. We've got nobody, though. Got nobody. Oh yeah, and going agrarian economy empowers farmers' reinvestment. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. The farmers will reinvest more. So that might make up for it a little bit there. Hey, Sharky Boy, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. Are you ending stream in 5 minutes, or I actually arrived at the middle this time? Not quite the middle. We probably have like about 30 more minutes to go. Because I can go for about 3 hours today. We're only at the 2.5 hour mark. So yeah, you got about 30 minutes. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. How's everything going? Hey, Jess. Hello, hello. Hey, Ham. I recently have gotten into Victoria 3, and your videos have been incredibly helpful, nice, and helped me become #1 GDP on Prussia, Germany. In my second legit run. Thanks. Ah, congratulations. That's tough. That is a tough one to do. Congrats, congrats, congrats. And I'm so glad the videos helped. I appreciate you coming in to the live stream to say so. Very awesome, very awesome. All right. So you had a successful Prussia run. What's your next run going to be? Who are you playing with next? What's being built by the private queue also depends on your law. Yeah, traditionalism, agrarianism, and industry band make manor houses more active. Yeah, and financial districts very unlikely to build factories. Yeah, because like if you go to agrarianism, you get this negative 25% capitalist investment pool contribution efficiency, which means they're going to be giving less to the investment pool. Add to the fact that aristocrats and farmers are adding more to it. It really does bump up the manor houses being able to take over the private queue. Industry band. Yeah, I've never really done industry band all that much. I mean, who would, right? But there are times you get forced onto it. I guess that would do it too, yeah. Yeah, you get this aristocrats investment pool contribution. It is more active. Oh, very unlikely to build factories. Neither the subsistence reinvestment thing nor the law impacting private queue decisions are communicated to the player. Yeah, I feel like it took me a very long time in this game to realize how it was deciding what gets added to the queue here. And I remember it was one of the first things I found it in the game files. It was one of the first times I finally dove into looking at the game files, and that's where I kind of just found that out. Doing good. Stopped playing games as much as I got into running a trading card business. Oh, that's cool. Very nice. A trading card business. How's it going? What kind of cards do you trade? Oh man, there was a time I was very, very much into Magic the Gathering. I still am. I just haven't played it in quite a while, but very much into that. All right, let's lower taxes a little bit here because the reserves are actually kicking. Yeah, let's raise that. Start using our money a little bit. the different choices for the private queue isn't because of the different reinvestment. It's hard-coded in. Well, no, if you go into the game files, you'll find part of what the private queue is using to decide who gets to build the next building is like largely about who is contributing what to the investment pool. So like right now, the manor houses get a lot of the private queue. It won't be 100%. But once you can get financial districts to start investing a little bit more, you'll start to notice more industries being added here. Like right now we have no financial districts, so we're not really getting anything like that in here. But it's kind of, you can manipulate the investment pool in that way, or the private queue in that way, based on like trying to manipulate how much people are contributing to it. Yeah, like look at, what do we have? Logging camps, paper mills, furniture, tooling. Let's take a look at our buildings here. So all the logging camps are owned by the government. Paper mills are all owned by us. Furniture's owned by us. Tooling's owned by us. And then the livestock ranches. You know what? Let's look at the building registry. Yeah, so we have some privately owned ones here, which is why we have the next one being the livestock ranches here. Oh, we do have a... Okay, we have the financial districts building something here, which is nice. I'm basically a middleman between sellers and buyers, but I can buy 30k cards and sell to someone who only wants 5 of them. Oh, okay. Nice, nice. Very cool, very cool. Example, traditionalism multiplies the weight for manufactories for financial districts by 0.1. Oh, so, oh, is that, you're saying that's in the game files? Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I haven't looked at the files in that for that in quite a while. So yeah, I guess I have to refresh myself on what they might have changed. I think it was back in... God, what version was it? It was before National Awakening. Yeah, I think it was back in 1.9. It was sometime between Charters of Commerce and then National Awakening. I had gone in and looked at how is the private queue determined. So you're saying we should build more mines so that the kids become the major contributors? Yeah. Yeah, if you want your entire economy taken over by the kids, just build those mines and let them dig. My pressure run fizzled out when I warred with Egypt to make them a subject. I colonized Ethiopia to get the German colony achievement, and my army there lost all org for some reason, and I lost the run. Yeah, there's multiple reasons why your army would have lost all its organization, including a possible bug. But also something that happens sometimes is, like, say your army was over here, and they lost access to the sea, they now can't get supply, which would make them start losing their organization. So that also might have happened with like the shifting of the front lines. It kind of depends on how that might have happened. You might have lost organization because of that. If it wasn't anything to do with like your supply ships and stuff like that. Ah, yes, Benin now doesn't have turmoil. They are incorporated, that's nice. You know, we can afford a hit to the budget. Well, we don't have as many resources here. Oh, we got sulfur here. Oh, we got opium. Look at us. Oh, there's no resources here. Okay. This is incorporated. Let's incorporate this. Take a bit of a hit. But it's okay. Oh, I'm gonna head out. Just wanted to stop by as I saw you streaming. See you. Have a good one. Yeah. Thanks for stopping in. Good to see you, my friend. Congrats on the new business, the trading card business there. Congrats. Good to see you. Hopefully, I'll see you around soon then. Oh, another question. Is there anything I should do to supercharge mass migration beyond stuff like total separation, open borders, and multiculturalism? So, yeah, I mean, those are the big ones. Total separation, open borders, multiculturalism. To supercharge mass migration, having available jobs. So if you have like buildings that aren't hired up, having arable land. The amount of arable land affects your migration attraction. Using the greener grass campaign helps. Basically, go to your states and keep an eye on this attraction level and do what you can to raise it. And if you have the attraction level, then you'll start getting the migrations that way. There's also some stuff with power blocks. If you form a power block or get added into one, there's one specific, yeah, freedom of movement. So if you get the freedom of movement principle in a power block, and you get to the second one here, you get plus 50% mass migration attraction. Oh, interesting. Allows migration within a power block. Yeah. So that'll help you as well. There's a decent chance Ham doesn't abolish child labor on this series. And the curse continues. It's possible. But hey, I've built universities in the first episode. So, you know, sometimes things change. Let's add another construction sector. Now, you know, the other thing I gotta keep in mind here is when we want to switch to iron frame buildings, this is going to be a lot of iron that we'll need. Maybe I should have spread out the construction sectors a little bit more. Yeah, I should have done that. Now that we have them established here, yeah. So I think the next construction sectors I do, we're going to put here. In fact, I might try to delete some here and then put others here so that when we switch to iron frame buildings, we don't need to start by building like 10 levels of iron mines. But we're still quite a ways off from that. because we're, as you can see, we're not going for urban planning anytime soon. Unless we can get it on tech spread. Oh, we're getting colonization on tech spread. We're going to get that pretty soon. God, it would be fantastic if the next tech spread was urban planning. The freedom of movement power block mandate is amazing for the migration attraction too. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very helpful. Oh, that's right. Yeah, having a high standard of living, yeah, also helps. You need, like, if you have, where's the map mode? Keeping an eye on this. Like, if you're in the green and everyone else around you isn't, you'll start to get some migration. But yeah, the higher your standard of living, the much better the migration attraction is on your states here. Add to the list of people who have learned from your videos. Oh, hey! Oh, wait, sorry. Hey, Saugus Dudley. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Add to the list of people who have learned from your videos. 47-year-old player and couldn't figure out this game. Now 40 hours in the last 10 days. Thanks for getting me over the hump. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, I love it. I'm glad it helped. You know, from one 40-year-old player to another. I'm glad to help out. I'm glad and thank you for coming in to say so. I really love it when people come in and say that because it's so motivating. So I appreciate it. What country? What was the country that it finally clicked for you? I feel like that's always like an important country for every Victoria 3 player. Mine was Kabul. It was during a Kabul run that it all finally clicked for me. Pawn Void, hello, hello. One more to the list. Thanks again. Oh, awesome, awesome. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Nice, nice. Well, same question. Who were you playing with when it all finally clicked? I tested the social monarchy law. It was a difference between hola and hello. The only advantage was the end of the aristocracy in favor of the petite bourgeoisie, although they become sus in late game. Yeah, I know, right? The petite bourgeoisie is very helpful beginning game. By the end of the game, they're all ethno-nationalists. So it's a little tricky. Oh, yeah, let's subsidize this. So that we can get those merchant marines. Yeah, this trade center. The only thing it's doing is importing the clippers so that we can make merchant marines to provide the trade center. Oh, God. That's our economy. But in terms of RP, if you want to create a corporate and religious or fascist monarchy, perhaps. Oh, yeah. That could be an interesting run right there. Alright, so let's check in here. Yeah, we don't have enough tools, so we're going to build that. Let's build one more government admin here. And that'll give us some positive bureaucracy. But actually, let's finish the tooling workshop. It's only going to be about 14 more weeks. Hey, colonization and prospecting. We had gold. We do not, though. All right. So let's pass colonization. So we're going to go for colonial resettlement. I don't want to go for exploitation because we're not trying to exploit things, and this negative 25% tension decay. I need the tension to decay in all these places because this is going to be like our mainland. So we'll go to colonial resettlement. Oh, you know, actually, I forgot too. We were just talking about migration. Plus 50% migration attraction in unincorporated states, so you can also do that. Interesting. We have nobody who wants to negotiate with us. Oh, well, let's delay this before we forget. Your trade centers sound like a money laundering scheme. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They're a money laundering scheme for the ports. Ah, mandatory service. Nice, nice. Sweden, doing my third run now. Nice. Keep replaying to better figure out what I missed. Also working through your Australia run. Tons of good info. Ah, as you don't play at Speed 5. Yeah, I am not a fan of Speed 5. I find Speed 3 to be the best one. I guess despite the fact that in that series, in the first episode, I was on Speed 4 a little bit. Just because we needed to get through build queues quickly. But yeah, I find Speed 3 to be the best one to play on. Social monarchy doesn't even give access to cooperative ownership. Not a bug. Oof. Yeah, it's an interesting law. They just added it. I believe it was added in 1.13, right? Yeah, the petite bourgeoisie gets some strength. Yeah, that's right. Unlocks Bakufu. Yeah, so it was added in 1.13. I wish I had some kind of confederation type structure law, like the pre-constitutional USA, maybe with a debuff of authority and more legitimacy. Hey, that sounds like the thing of mods. You should make a mod. Or there might be a mod for that, actually, already. Despite not enjoying full rights under Sokoto law, some wealthier Edo people have begun moving into neighborhoods and frequenting establishments they would normally be excluded from. We can take this because we can piss off the petite bourgeoisie because they're marginalized, so what do we care about them? Sounds pretty self-explanatory then. High migration equals, yeah, living good, being accepting, having a job, food, right? Yeah, exactly. That's basically it. That's basically it. Make life seem nice and cushy in your country and people will move there. True, kind of strange, yeah. Oh, hey! Oh no, your username's getting cut off. Mohammed, yeah, sorry, it's getting cut off. Hello, Mohammed, how are you? How are you? I have a question. What is the first building I should construct? The first technology I should research? And the first law I should enact when playing as Congo? Okay. I was gonna say, it depends on the country. I think the first building is a trade center because you want to get your construction sectors underway. You're gonna have some deficits there. I forget if they start though with what they need. Yeah, I guess you have, unless they built this recently, but you have the port. A trade center and then logging, fabric, construction sector. That's kind of the first things to build right there. The first tech, I forget where Congo starts now. But generally, in general, the first tech you really want to get to is railways. They're probably up here, though. If they don't have steelworking, that is absolutely the first thing you want to get to. Like we had here, if you don't have centralization, you want to get that. But I would say, I think from what I remember of Congo, the only things in level 1 they don't have are cotton gin and lathe. If that's the case, I would just go cotton gin lathe so that you can start doing the Atmo engine. You want to get to the Atmo engine. So first tech, I would do whatever you need in level 1 to get to Atmo engine, and if you don't have steelworking, that's the absolute first one. And the first law you should enact. Usually the easiest one is, if you can, if you're on local police force, get to dedicated police force. You want a police force, but you want to lower the amount of political strength the landowners have. I think Congo starts on peasant levies, so usually it's pretty easy to go to professional army because you can throw the armed forces in government. Getting off of peasant levies gets rid of this plus 25% political strength to aristocrats. So I would go with that. All right, what do we got here? The news that the government intends to pass the colonial resettlement law has created great enthusiasm among those that are eager to exploit new and distant lands. So plus 20% success chance is pretty good. See, the thing about this is, we get this for 5 years, but we're not even in the, we're still in the introduction phase, and we only have a 5% success. So I'm going to take the plus 20 on this one. Also, what building should I prioritize after getting my first 2 construction sectors? So you want to build, in Congo, you want to build the inputs for the construction sectors first, then the construction sectors, then you need some buildings that are going to make you some money. So I would go over to the staple goods and just start building whatever you have the deficits of. It's usually textile mills and furniture manufacturers. Those are going to start making you some money so that you can get more of a budget to afford more construction sectors. Colonial resettlement does nothing for mass migrations. Unincorporated states cannot get mass migrations. Yeah. But you do get migration. So you'll get people from elsewhere in the country. Oh, yeah, I guess we were talking about mass migration. This is true. Yeah, so it doesn't help with mass migration. They say the pre-constitutional USA was a mess. Yeah, it was. With states taxing each other and other things. What was it like? Every state had their own currency, so economically it was a mess. The federal government had like almost no power, so every state had competing laws, and there's a bunch of failed constitutions. First building should always be the art academy. Yeah, there you go. There you go. How do you create an intelligentsia? My understanding is by increasing government wages and universities, but is there a profitable way to do so as a smaller nation that can't afford the bureaucracy? Getting off of hereditary bureaucrats and going to appointed bureaucrats will help. You get added political strength to bureaucrats, and then instead of building more government admins, you move to secular administration, which adds the amount of bureaucrats you have, so that'll give them more political power. Getting generals possibly that are intelligentsia, but yeah, that's kind of tough in the opening stages. So yeah, same thing with the universities too. You go to secular academia, that'll give you more academics. In the early game, that's kind of it. Sorry to bombard with questions during the stream. No, I don't mind it at all. No need to say sorry. I like the questions. We need to time travel Ham to the medieval Congo and kickstart the Industrial Revolution there. Yeah, or maybe just go back to EU5 and start there. I need to do a Congo run in EU5. How to not afraid of deficit spending. Oh, hey, hello, Copex Gaming. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, how to not be afraid. I don't know. I'm still afraid of deficit spending. I know how to do it. And yet that first moment, I find sometimes I don't make that switch in my mind to deficit spend, to like, I feel like there's always a moment, you always start deficit spending before you actually say to yourself, I'm going to start deficit spending. I still find it hard to be like, oh, I'm going to start deficit spending now. Because I think just from our own lives, it's tough to have debt. Debt scares me in life. Changing from peasant levies to professional gets rid of the 25% ratio, but it also gets rid of plus 50 attraction towards armed forces to aristocrats. Oh, it mostly ends up balancing itself out. This was tested by data time lapses very long ago. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. Huh. I did not know that. I hadn't seen that. So the interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. That's interesting. Ham, will USA invade either Greenland or Canada? God, I don't know. I feel like the big orange monster has been sidetracked because he's a child. So I think no, unless somebody dangles those keys in front of him again, you know. Unfortunately, that's how foreign policy works in the United States right now. At least for the next 2 years, hopefully. All right, though. Unfortunately, we are at the stopping point for today, so we are going to need to end here. But we'll be continuing this later tonight. So I will be doing another session tonight where we continue the Sokoto run here. So that starts at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, my time. So that's in about 7 hours from now. So whatever time zone you're in. So hopefully I'll see everybody there for that one. If you are afraid of a deficit, just remember, it's not your money, it's the taxpayers. Yeah, there you go. Spoken like a true politician. Don't worry, you're spending other people's money. Oh, just thanks. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Well, all right. Thank you, everybody. Is there somebody on that I know? Nope. No, nobody else playing Vicky 3 right now, unfortunately. So, yeah, wow. Nobody else playing. Oh. All right. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. Take care. Yeah, same to you. Same to you. Arpachon, thanks for the stream. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you to Wolfie. Looking forward to the next part. Awesome. Awesome. I hope it's Canada. That will kick off the Fallout timeline. Oh, yeah. I didn't think of that. Oh, man. All right. Well, yes. Hopefully I'll see everybody tonight as we continue this Sokoto run here. And as always, be awesome, my friends. I'll see you next time.